And with us, Maria Ryan, PhD. She's the CEO of Cottage Hospital in Woodsville, New Hampshire. She's also a board-certified nurse practitioner. Great to see you. Thanks so much for being with us. Let's talk a little bit about this. First to you, Maria. Joe Biden's specifics on his COVID plan have been a little bit broad. He has also been accused of basically lifting some of the pages out of President Trump's playbook for COVID. Do you see anything significantly different in the way that President Biden plans to attack the pandemic than how President Trump and Operation Warp Speed and all of his allies went about it?
We're very grateful for the president in Operation Warp Speed. We would have never seen vaccines out on the market at this point in time. And I think President Biden is correct to keep up with what President Trump had laid out. The one thing that's concerning us is President Biden, when he speaks about just putting all the vaccines out at once. Number one, we would have a storage problem with Pfizer. Remember, this is the vaccine that has to be at a very, very low temperature to store it, and no one has those type of facilities. And there's a lot of upkeep. You have to remember that both of these vaccines you have to give within 30 days, or one of them is 31 days. But you have to know what person had the Pfizer, what person had Moderna, and also follow up. And you have to keep them at your site for 15 to 30 minutes, depending on what their comorbidities are, so to make sure you don't have a reaction. So there are some concerns, but overall, we just need to keep moving forward. I know here in New Hampshire, we have a great plan. We're already moving on to what's called phase 1B. But one thing I did learn is that every state can be a little different, and it's tough for a hospital like mine, who's on the border of Vermont. So I have 50% of my patients are from Vermont, and I can't vaccinate them. That's not how the federal government is going to release them. So there are little kinks that we can improve upon, but basically it's a good plan, and President Biden should follow what he has inherited.
One of the things I think we've learned here too, Dr. Samadi, about this is that the federal government can only do so much. The last mile, so to speak, of the vaccination process has to be done by the states, has to be done at a local level. We heard Maria talk about New Hampshire and their success, but you can look at other states like New York and California and compare those to West Virginia, which is leading the nation right now when it comes to effectiveness with the vaccinations. And the governor there, Jim Justice, told the federal government, thanks, but no thanks. We're going to focus on mom and pop shops. We're going to talk to doctors' offices and nurse practitioners, the people who actually come in contact with the patients on a more regular basis, to really gauge the need for the vaccine. And, maybe Joe Biden should tap West Virginia Governor Jim Justice to join his COVID vaccination team.
Well, I think you're going to see a lot of the politics coming out of COVID very soon. With President Biden going to the White House, you're going to see major distributions. Remember, we always had millions and millions of these vaccines, but a lot of them sat, depending on which state you're talking about. The distribution was really slow, and we ended up trashing some of these vaccines even. Now I think he wants to give 100 million vaccines within the next 100 days, which is fine. You need to open it up to all the CVS, the pharmacies. Doctors need to be involved, doctors' offices, and the manpower will be able to give this kind of millions of vaccines out there. I have a feeling that you're going to see all of a sudden slow numbers of this COVID. The testing is going to go down. And for some reason, I have a feeling that in the next 3-4 months, this virus is going to somehow slowly disappear, which is good news for everyone, because at the end, we want to be able to practice medicine. We want to open up our economy. We want to make sure that we control these patients from getting this virus and move on. And I think this is going to happen over the next 2-3 months.
We've already started to see somewhat of a minor, nascent decline in cases. I know things are really bad, and they are predicting things are going to stay bad. But Maria, do you agree with Dr. Samadi that we might see some different results because the testing might change? What's your read on that?
Again, I caution releasing everything too quickly. Logistically, in the states, they have to have good plans, like New Hampshire, like West Virginia. If you don't have a good plan in your state to have all this vaccine coming towards you with the ill ability to get it out to the people, it's not going to do any good. And we know with Pfizer, you'll end up throwing it away because you can't store it. So it has to be measured. But I think that within 30 to 60 days, if we keep on this trajectory of how we're vaccinating, we should start seeing numbers continuing to go down, and by the summer, it will markedly go down.
Well, when it comes to this, so many people just itching for a return to normalcy, human interaction becoming a thing again. We're all looking forward to that. Thanks so much, Dr. Samadi. Dr. Maria, we appreciate your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.